Good evening, everyone. I am going to comment on the Brexit vote. I know we won't hear until 2 a.m. ish Eastern time. And I'm not going to get into the details of why Great Britain is seeking to exit the European Union. I'm going to talk about the overall encompassing subject that surrounds it, which is very important, especially in America now with this election and the divisiveness that's going on. What can we learn from the Brexit? Well, first of all, unity is important, as we see that it's kind of troubling to think that Europe is going to be so fractured, although it's been working up to that for a while. We have to really think about what when we if a country, let's compare a country to a person, right? This country is a part of a whole bunch of countries, kind of like America's a bunch of states that work together in a country. Let's say it's like a state, Great Britain, and it's not having its own right to make its own decisions when it comes to certain things. And so this one entity that's by law above them is forcing them to do things against their will. And so this is another point that I'm going to follow up on, like with a republic and a democracy. The difference is that Great Britain is wanting to remain like a republic government would, which is they retain their individual sovereignty and individual rights to make their own decisions. Whereas a democracy, like the European Union would be, is where they want to enforce a majority now is wanting to enforce its rules, whatever they may be, onto a minority that might not necessarily agree, just because they're the majority. So I wanted to make that connection. And this is the world we live in, We have a lot going on that's divisive. Fear empowers the government or the powers that be. A lot of times, especially through media and all across the world, they attempt to divide and conquer. We're easily influenced when we're in fear, and then they can push certain things to get us to make decisions. So I feel like we need to steer clear of the fear and do not be divided and conquered. Unity empowers us. Unity empowers the people. We must remain strong. United we stand, divided we fall. We can unite and overpower this divisiveness, not only in Europe, but in America. We must come together. We're smart people. We're humans. We can think through this, and we can really think on our own terms, not just what's going on the news. So if we cannot rein in our politicians, just like in Great Britain, where they're being controlled by others, and they want to exit that, if we can't rein in our politicians and our government, right? We feel out of control sometimes, but don't disengage. You are just as much in control of your own life as you ever have been. We can control our everyday interactions with members of our community, right? When we're out there in the world, you greet that person, you give that smile, right? You shake that hand. How are you? We got to come together. And then other walks of life who we may, look, we're going to have to figure this out, people, and we can do it. The Brexit, what we can learn from the Brexit is it's time to come together, right? Quit being influenced by all the media, all the stories. We got to wake up, people. Have a good one.